All right, everyone, welcome back. It is Saturday afternoon, and that means, or Saturday morning, depending on where you are. And that means we're back for another day of action for the Corporate Esports Association. I am joined by the handsome, as always, well-bearded BeoMulf. How are you doing this morning? Or afternoon?
There we go. I'm having a great afternoon. It is not morning for me. I'm not on the West Coast, but good morning to everyone who is there. I'm excited. We got some playoffs ready for us today. We got some excellent games coming up here. I could not be more excited.
Neither could I. It is going to be a good set of games, as you say. It's playoffs for both sides, both collegiate and corporate this time. Last week we did start the collegiate side. The round of 8 we had. Well, do you want to talk about it at all? Do you want to talk about the match last week?
I don't know if I can without spilling over myself because the match was so incredible. When at least on the collegiate side, we had our first quarterfinal setup. Of course, it was University of Chicago prevailing there, but that was not close, or that was it was not a whitewash by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm trying to actually
Almost a 4-0. So close.
almost a 4-0.
And then
But
almost the dream reverse sweep. Oh god, it was great.
Oh, dude, it was so exciting. If you missed that, absolutely go back and take a look at the VODs there. Unfortunately, we will not be covering the University of Chicago versus the University of Utah, or Utah Valley University this week. We'll be hitting the bottom side of that bracket, but absolutely go take a look at the University of Chicago games. They went to 6 games. We saw them sell out, really take advantage of the format that the collegiate format uses, and do some pretty cool stuff. And it was getting real dicey there at the very end. But luckily for University of Chicago, they were able to pull it off. But hey, you know what? We had one playoff match last week. We had one best of 7 this time. This time we have 2. Double the mayhem, double the insanity. And to start it off, we're gonna have MSFT-A versus the Facebook Zuckerzergs. Now, Steadfast, I understand we got someone a little bit special playing for the Microsoft side.
We do. We actually have someone you may or may not have heard of. It is a moderately famous streamer, Zerg Girl, Kathy. She is going to be streaming or not stream. Well, actually, maybe she is streaming. Who knows? I don't know. But she is going to be playing in this one. I couldn't believe it when I actually looked back through our records. We have not cast Microsoft's A team yet. You'd think with Microsoft being what it is as a company, it would have come up. But I looked back through some of the Discord records with the captain. There was one match that we tried to get, unfortunately due to logistical issues, we couldn't get it that week. It just didn't work out. But now we have one of their biggest matches of the season coming up today. It is a classic close seed match, the number 8 seed versus the number 9 seed in that round of 16 match. And, well, I think this is going to be an absolute banger. I think this is going to be a really great game. Really great best of 7 series.
No, you're not wrong there. And of course, well, whoever wins here, they have to go on. They will most likely have to go on and play Alexa 12 Pool, the number 1 seeded team in the bracket. Assuming, of course, Alexa 12 Pool is not met with a massive upset, but they've been doing pretty well so far. So this is a big game, but it's a game that gets you to bigger games. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. Of course, both players, they do want to make that second round, make those quarterfinals, really show their stuff against these top teams, Alexa 12 Pool. But perhaps we should talk about other results as we sit here waiting for the maps to get all set up. So we only have one other result for you at the moment as we look in the playoffs here. Google's are A movers the A team? I believe they are, as they do have A in their name.
I think so.
But they did knock out. They did knock out the Microsoft B team. So Microsoft A sitting here looking to carry the torch of the Microsoft universe, the Microsoft Corporation, as they move on into this into the latter parts of this playoffs, theoretically, assuming they're able to get by here. We have one Microsoft team left, but the really cool thing about this entire tournament series is when you're out of the playoffs, you are not done. You just are out of the corporate playoffs. As teams that are falling out of both the corporate side and the collegiate side are being invited to participate in a mixed play format using the collegiate format of 1v1s and 2v2s. If you want to talk about that a little bit, Steadfast.
Yes. So the collegiate format is a very interesting one. It was designed to make it so that teams could still field a full roster, even if they only had 3 players. 3 players was the magic number. So the way that it works is it's not just 7 1v1s. It is in fact a set of 1v1s, and followed by regular season was 2v2. So the way the regular season worked was you had 2 1v1s followed by 2v2s, and then a 1v1 ace match. So it just meant for a kind of a very interesting set of things where 1v1 was not the be all end all. And that was a pretty cool little twist, I would say. There's a couple of twists actually with the CEA, but that one was a pretty cool twist as well. And it allowed for the team with Vindicta, UCSD, to actually get taken down. And you would have thought, listening to Vindicta, or thinking that Vindicta's on a team, that would absolutely be the number 1 seed going into the playoffs. But that is not the case, thanks to the strength of some of their opponents' 2v2s. And I believe even, was it the University of Chicago that took them down?
It was the University of Chicago. That is what allowed them to be in the placement side of the second portion of the bracket, instead of fighting for their life to make sure they stayed in the tournament. So that was probably the biggest match of the season outside of the playoffs that they had to deal with, and they were able to win it 3-1. They won one of their 1v1s, and they swept the 2v2s, and just never gave Vindicta that opportunity to get his second win in the ace.
Yeah, and that's why they're actually one, I think, and also to couple in with that, we got such an electric series from them. The preparation that they put into it was so big. But something that's very interesting about the playoffs versus the regular season is that with the regular season, you have 4 of the 5 possible matches predetermined beforehand. So you can therefore kind of pick and choose and make your preparations based on that. But in the playoffs, you still only have those 4 matches that you know for sure who is playing, but then there's still a best of 7. So there's actually 3 matches that are picked at the time. Those are all ace matches. And there's a very creative way that it's a little bit complicated to get into on the air, but there's a very creative way about how many players can be played. You can, of course, replay players that have already played once before, but it makes it so that there's a real bit of juggling, and the preparation doesn't always avail you once you get into those ace matches.
Absolutely. And as we talk about matches, talk about ace matches, well, we are going on into game number 2 as game 1 is going to be map 2.
Yes.
Of this series as we wait for the players for map number 1 to show up. Unfortunately, the map has been swapped, so we're going to be on Romanticide and not the really cool map that was originally scheduled for this. We were not going to get Beckett stations. We've seen that once before. But it looks like our players and our casters, most likely, are all loaded in to game number 2, or game number 1, map number 2 of this first round of 16.
That they are. And we have spawning up in the top left, in the orange, it is the Zerg player, Juno. Oh, he's going for a 14 pool here. Very interesting to start things off.
And in the bottom right, in the pink, representing someone. I have this up in my head. Representing Microsoft A, there we go. It's Kixantrix.
Yes, it is. And
oh man, I love that. The not anything about the build, but the clan logo that Kixantrix has going for himself right now.
Yeah.
GG Entus.
Hey, that's pretty cool. Oh, that is actually really, really neat right there. GG Entus. Oh man, of course CJ Entus, one of the oldest pro gaming teams around during Brood War, switched over to SC2. And yeah, they always put forth a very, very strong roster. One of the, I guess you would say, Big 8 in Korea. Oh my God, this is a Roach Warren.
What? This is a one base. Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm like, oh, it's a 14 pool, whatever. He's gonna get put a little pressure, taking that. Okay, no. 19. This is a doesn't the 19 Roach Ling all in?
No,
Oh
no,
he's gonna be
no.
able to deny the scout too.
God. He wasn't mineral pathing, and so therefore the SCV took 6 shots from that Zergling. Oh man, he can still get in and get a free scout if he goes up now. Kixantrix, go into the main.
Well, to be totally fair, I mean, there we already have the bunker on the way here. I don't think scouting up into the main is going to tell him all that much more than what he already knows, that the Zerg does not have a natural. And one base Zerg does not have much time at all to stay in a game like this. We have another drone on the way, going up to 20 workers. That is interesting. Generally, you would just stick at 19, get the roaches, get the raptors, move across the map. But to my memory, the 19 roach ravager attack is with a natural. Looks like actually there is a drone going down to take a natural as well. So I feel like Juno, this is a little bit of preparation here, a little bit of stuff to maybe throw Kixantrix off his game. Or maybe it's just because he knows that, well, he knows that he's been scouted. So this is not going to get nearly as much damage as an unscouted 19 roach ravager push here. Ooh. And Kixantrix aware of this. He will cancel that bunker. I think that was maybe a little bit premature.
I think so too, and well, the importance of getting into the main to get that scout for Kixantrix would have been the difference between knowing if it's a Baneling bust or knowing if it's roaches and Ravager pressure, and this is just going to be a pressure coming out of Juno right here. He's going to be able to get a lot done with this Overlord and Ravagers. He may be able to get both supply depots, possibly even that reactor that's being trying to be built. This is actually going to be devastating.
Oh, it's almost a supply block. There are only 2 supply in the win, and there we go. Now the Biles are hitting where they need to as well. Okay, there is high ground vision here, and there's a spot where the Biles can both hit the bunker and hit the supply depot. Supply depot is going to go down again, and now Kixantrix find himself supply blocked. He's not able to build any army units whatsoever. What do we only have 3 Marines on the map? Yeah, we do. So honestly, I would not mind seeing the Ravagers. Okay, now the Marines have gone back into the bunker. So there is that, but looks like the tank is supply block, but looks like the barracks is maybe going to go down as well. Now we do have a repair once again, but behind this, Juno is going for a double lair. That's got to be a misclick.
A little bit. Oh, nice bile.
In the heat of the moment, when you're sitting here trying to make sure that you win playoffs. Players don't often have the opportunity to deal with these high stakes scenarios where it's playoffs, it's crazy, you have that much more pressure on you than normal. So absolutely understandable that this is maybe something he would deal with here. Man, I almost wish Juno had gotten his lair just a little bit faster so he could creep the natural and just be really terrible.
Oh god, that would have been so good. As it is though, this is still looking really good for the Zerg player here. He's up a good amount of workers. He's got that Spire now on the way. And if he'd kept all 3 Ravagers alive, that would have been really, really nice. But he still keeps 2 of them alive. Now, Kixantrix should absolutely be using this Liberator to clear out this Overlord. Even just, you can still keep it siege. Just put it like here. That's fine.
Yeah, I believe there is a tank out there. Okay, there we go. We have tanks on high ground. So, well, actually, yeah, the tank positioning does not cover that. And Kixantrix did finally notice at the end of the day that, well, his barracks was burning down, so that was repaired. We will see, and we now do have Stim on the way here. Actually, yeah, nice drone micro there, making sure that the drones go in the gas. Of course, Reapers cannot shoot drones that do not exist on the map at the moment. So great job there, making sure it doesn't lose anything more than is necessary. And of course, the Reaper will die, but that's expected anyways. Interestingly enough, despite the quick Spire here we see from Juno, we do not see any sort of Zergling speed on the way. So you would expect when you see Spire like this, you would expect to transition into a 3rd base, expect to transition into Mutiling Bane off of this. But no, we're just going to see Mutos here. Maybe we might see a delayed speed. Very rarely do I see any sort of Roach Ravager Muta, just because the gas costs are so significant.
There is a very strong build that a player named Railgan came up with, where you go for it's not this, it's a little bit more economically focused, but it is a 3 roach push into mutas, and then you go for a big roach ravager timing, and then from that point on you transition into Mutiling Bane and Hive Tech, and yeah, it's a very flexible way of playing the game, but that is really the only place that I've seen that. Does he really only have? Okay, there we go. The rest of the mutas are on the way. I was gonna see. I saw 2 mutas on the production tab before, and then 2 mutas coming across the map, and I'm like, this is weird. Oh, but they're already in the mineral line. Oh no, this is bad. This is very, very bad. 4 Kixantrix right here. This might actually already be insurmountable damage.
So there are 7 mutas on the map. Are there 7 mutas here?
Yes.
Now that there are only 5 Marines on the map, so yeah, these mutas can absolutely just kill all the Marines and win the game. I don't know if Juno is aware of this fact. But there we go, he's just going to dive on top of everything. The tank maybe will not go down, but so many SCVs will die in the exchange, and these mutas are just wreaking havoc. 10 more drones on the way as well. These mutas just, there we go, they're going to kill all the Marines. Not even trade one of themselves in comparison. Yeah, okay, Juno has realized that there's just no anti-air on the map here. And there are a grand total of 3 Marines on the map. The mutas, they reign supreme, and GG, Juno. He's going to take game number 1 for the Facebook Zuckerzergs. Game number 2 map. He's going to take a game. There we go.
It's a strong start. Strong start, to say the least. And yeah, that was a pretty devastating start to this one.
That was a funky build to be sure. It's interesting. There was, you talk about railgun builds. I know when I was starting to play Starcraft back in 2013. Wow, that's a while ago now. There was a lot of talk about like the triple barrel builds that Zergs would do.
Yes. Yeah.
Where I think it was like a Baneling bust, then a Roach attack, then something else.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, it was Zerglings, then I think it was a Zergling attack, then a Baneling bust, then a Roach attack, whatever the case. And that's kind of what this felt like as well. Granted, we are 7 years further, we are an expansion further along. The theory of the game has evolved tremendously, but it's still the same idea of just hitting with varying techs. So you force your opponent into one thing to deal with what you got, and just hit them with the next thing. So you force them into a bad spot, and then you checkmate them. That is exactly what Juno was able to do in this last game, and it looks like we're going to go on to map number 3 as our next map. Of course, that will be Frugs versus Zerg Girl versus Kathy.
Yes.
And it's going to be on Death Aura.
Yes, so that's going to be a pretty important match, I think, for Microsoft. I think a lot is going to be riding on Zerg Girl's shoulders here, mostly because based on what happened in game number 1 that we haven't actually played yet is going to be featuring Front Stab, who traditionally has been the ace for the Facebook Zuckerzerg team, and he's had some pretty strong results. And so I'm sure that is one of the matches that, Facebook feels very confident in. Now, that doesn't mean they'll win for sure, but it does put pressure on some of the other players to then win their matches. So if Zerg Girl cannot win this one, all of a sudden, Microsoft could be finding themselves in a really, really tough position heading forward. But, we'll see. We'll see if that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Facebook's player in map number 3 is far from a weakling. Frugs didn't have the best start to his season. I think he went like 0-3 through the Swiss bracket before he took his first win, but he's gotten a lot better since then. Has shown his ability to contribute to teams. Looks like we're waiting. Yeah, so Microsoft missing their player for game 4 at the moment as well. Hopefully this is going to be able to, hopefully this game is going to go a good bit longer, as I imagine this is maybe a time zone issue. But hey, we're going to get ready to go here. Zerg Girl is loaded up, as is Frugs. We're going to wait for the ready up command. And yeah, you're not kidding. This game is incredibly important. Front Stab, well, I think he's got the advantage there, and I don't know too much about the Gladiator or Pluto. But
yeah, it's it's gonna be like you said, I don't know too much about them either, but I do think it is going to be a very critical match for them.
Yeah, because of course, yes, there is the opportunity. If you go down 3-0, you can take to the ace match. But as we've seen thus far, well, if it goes to map 7, we can assume Front Stab's going to go in there and if anyone's been following the league a little, Zero is probably the best player, if not just by default the best player in this entire league by MMR, by having beaten everyone, etc., etc. And he is of the opinion, at the very least, that front stab is the closest to him from a competitive perspective. So front stab going in there for an ace match has got to be a terrifying situation for Microsoft to have to deal with, should that happen.
I would tend to agree with that. I would say that maybe he's a little bit biased. Of course, they are good friends. They are on a similar clan. So, I don't know if I would take that 100% as gospel, but he is absolutely one of those players that is up there. And I think especially having a player like Zero in his back pocket to kind of, bounce preparation ideas off of probably helps a lot. But, we're going to maybe talk about that a little bit more when we do get into his game. For now, we are focused on these players spawning down in the bottom right position. Representing the Zuckerzerg, currently up 1-0 in the series. It is the Blue Zerg player, Frugs.
And on the other side of the map, in the pink, representing Microsoft-A, looking to equalize this series at 1-1, it's Zerg Girl.
Yes, of course. Oh, sorry, go on.
We saw a 16 hatch coming in from Frugs here. That's not something you see all that often. It was a 16 hatch, 16 pool, 17 hatch.
Yes.
That's of course the goal here maybe just to be a little bit more defensive. We don't see a ton of aggressive options from this opening here, but what it does mean is, should this be say 12 pool drone pool or something, you're a little bit more defensive there. Now, that's not what we're going to see on this map, but that is kind of the opportunity.
It does look like it's actually going to be a 6-ling build here. So this is something that's a lot of fun. It's not as common as it used to be. Now, will we see these lings actually try and sneak around the Overlord, or are they just going to... No, they're just going to go straight up the gut, right across the map. And as a result, Zergirl will see this coming very, very quickly. She can bank Larva a little bit to deal with this, and that's what she's going to do. Actually, this is great. She's going to have her own 6 lings coming out, too.
Yeah, of course, she didn't bank... so generally, you bank at 19 regardless. You don't get that 19 Overlord to go up to 36 to make sure that you are absolutely, totally safe. But this is a good middle of the ground here, and she will have those 10 lings on the way out as the next Larva pops here. So it looks like she may want to be a little bit aggressive after she holds this off. Now, she does have to be careful with the Zerglings here. Frugs is going to look to make any sort of positive trades that he can, but now Zergirl, she has the even fight for the moment. Okay, now with the ling out number, nice micro there from Frugs. Will trade off a Zergling for just about free here, but now Zergirl, she does have the advantage, and by pushing across the map, she will force more Zerglings out of her blue opponent. And in doing so, that will provide her maybe a little bit of room to drone, to get into whatever tech she would like. It really depends on what she decides to go for in this map.
Yeah, that was a really interesting little reaction. Normally, if you're going to go for that, you go for 8 lings, but she did build an extra set right there. And like you said, she will force an extra set of lings from her opponent, but Frugs does pull the 2 queens right here, and this is going to be okay for him. But a nice bit of positioning. Oh, man, and the queens were not attacking, so an excellent little concave for Kathy, and she does ultimately lose out there as the queens turn and fight. But that ended up being, well, actually, no, it ended up being not a very good trade at all. She overstayed a little bit.
She did. This is 2 drones worth of 2 drones worth of Zerglings died, more for Zergirl than Frugs. And yes, I'm talking about the economy, or the economic implications of this build, of how this happens, because this is the ZVZ, and pretty much a single drone, 2 or 3 drones can absolutely make the difference here, more so than any other. Now, interestingly enough, we do see a layer on the way, third base on the way here for Zergirl. Her third base is a little bit... no, never mind. It went down at a roughly normal time. But Frugs sitting here on 2 bases. He has a decent amount of roaches on the way. This is something that Zergirl will have to be able to sniff out if she wants to be able to hold this. This is not a +1 speed roach timing, but we should see a bunch of roaches moving across the map. And Zergirl will spot this. Yes, she will.
Yeah, absolutely. That Overlord's so useful right there. And, well... She doesn't have her own Roach Warren done yet. She is up 13 drones, but I was going to say she needs spine crawlers, and she needs them now. This is a highly desperate situation. I think she should even cancel that +1 attack to get out more roaches right now, because this is a pure all-in from Frugs. He's not even on 3 bases.
Yep, absolutely. This is a 2-base pressure we see coming in here from Frogs, just hoping to hit with a lot of roaches, some Ravagers, a bunch of Lings. I would have loved to see Zergirl have maybe gotten a Bailing Nest at some point. You do see that pretty commonly. You see that safety Bailing Nest, and that would have made this hold that much easier, as there are a decent amount of Zerglings coming on in here, but it looks like one spine will complete. The second one will not. I'd like to see her just cancel that. She needs the money. She will not, so it will die. And now we see some vials going down. Not really hitting much, but Frogs right now, for the moment, has just a dominant army advantage here. Now, Zergirl did not cancel +1, so maybe that is an opportunity to make the hold here, should that happen. But now she's marked her forward with her roaches, and that is not something you want to do, not without the drones in comparison, but now the drones will be there. Roaches making a good fight, and Zergirl, she's equalizing the supply here. She's going to get on top of this morphing Ravager vial, or Ravager cocoon, but it will barely come out in time. But now with the Zergling surrounds, +1, almost done. But it doesn't look like it's going to be enough now. The Zerglings are streaming on in to this natural. Now, the Queen's in a great position to try to make a hold here, but really, I fear that we have hit the tipping point, as we just see more and more Zerglings streaming across the map. And yes, Zergirl has a lot of army in production, but at what cost? How much? The question is, how many workers will she lose in the defenses? As I say that, actually, it looks like because of how far this map is from things, well, +1 is done, which means these roaches trade much better now. And she absolutely is in a pretty good position here. She does need to make sure that she doesn't lose a bunch more workers, 2 Zergling run-bys into her main, into her natural, into her third at all the same time. And great micro there. She will be able to save the Queen.
That was a really tough position for Zergirl right there. She does desperately want to save this third hatchery. We'll lose a couple of drones over there. That's a little bit unfortunate that they were sent there. A couple Lings kind of getting lost as well. But she is so far ahead in tech. Her +1 is done. Her layer is done. She's now started roach speed. Her third base is done. These drones are on a tour. They are going the wrong way right there. Of course, whenever you transition, sometimes something like that can happen. Zergirl needs to save this third hatch. That is a fact. Oh God!
Like
oh God!
As much of a fact. Oh wow! I think I would have preferred to see Frug sell out for that one. To be totally honest.
Yeah, he should have. He should have sacked to snipe that for sure.
Well, now he's going to go on in once again, but this time it feels like there may be enough army to be able to steer Frugs away from doing anything. +1 is now on the way for Frugs, but Zergirl, when Roach Speed is done, she's going to have an incredibly powerful timing push here. Even as she is down in workers for the moment, of course, she is mining a little bit more just because she does, well, she will be, just because she has that third base, and now we have a bunch of Roaches on the way, and just as Zergirl moves out with her Zerglings, Frugs, she's going to find him!
Oh, that was huge. Frug still may be able to go for the snipe, though.
Yeah, no, it looks like he should be able to get it here. He will lose those Zerglings, but he will be able to get the hatchery now. Frugs with an economic advantage. But at this point, Kathy, she has +1. She has Roach Speed. Now she's found this great position between the main and the, well, what would have been or natural and would have been the third base, but that is now gone. Speed Roaches get on top of the Roach Warren. So that means, well, of course, no more Roaches on the way, and Lings are not all that useful when you have +1 Roaches. This is a ton of spines, though, as now Zergirl, she runs on in, and I think she just wants to back up, retake her third. No, did she? Okay, yeah. She did not. She did lose her third, but it's just getting retaken. The creep fooled me.
Yeah, so Kathy is in a dominating position right now. She is very, very far ahead. I would love to have seen her try to go for a snipe on that +1 missile instead of the Roach Warren. But I really don't want to see her push into all these spines. You know, use the Ravagers to just zone out and just tickle away at the front, but hold your lead. Oh, is she going to deny +1? Oh, it's actually going to be canceled by Frugs. Very weird decision. He would have lost it anyways, but maybe a Brood War player there. And feels like he has to get the minerals back. Kathy, though, pushing into 3 spines, firing at a time. And she's not breaking through that at the moment, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is 6 spines in the natural, but the big thing here is if Frugs is able to survive and able to not spend a lot. Actually, 1, 2, and almost 3 spines. So all the spines are going to go down here. +1 versus +0, 3 more spines in the back end. Kathy streaming and doing what she can. I don't think she wants to take this fight. Wow, that spine surviving on just about 1 HP. And she's not going to be able to get it. But what I was saying, the big story here is the fact that we have a Spire on the way for Frugs. And yes, Zergirl, she does technically have 3 bases, but she's only on 43 workers. She doesn't really have the infrastructure set up to deal with mutas for the moment. She only has 3 queens. And it does not feel like she really is aware of this. But of course, the mutas, any sort of mutas that pop out, they will have to go and help defend this. with more and more roaches streaming across the map here. So maybe that's going to tell Zergo what she wants to know, but she will be heinously supply blocked as that happens. Is there, what, 4 overlords? 3 or 4 overlords just sitting there on top of the army.
This is what we need to see her doing right now, using this Corrosive Bile cooldown to pick off the spines. She's going to see the mutas, though, and, well, looks like she already sniffed it out because she does have a Hydra Den on the way. But now she's going to try and shove in. The Spine Crawler is actually kind of acting against Frugs a little bit. Will force him to get pushed back, but with the mutas over top, all these Ravagers are going to get cleaned up, and Zergirl is going to lose a ton of supply right now. This Corrosive Bile will actually hit her own Ravager while killing off a drone. But this is scary. This is a big swing of momentum, and now we see army supply actually slightly favoring Frugs.
Absolutely. Now we do have a couple spores on the way per only in the third. Was that 1 spore in the main and the natural, 2 in the third? Yeah, that does make sense there. As the third is a little bit more exposed. And Zergirl, she just hit a bunch of Hydras, and that is not the move. I mean, she's only here on 47 workers. And how many roaches do we have on the field? Okay, we have 10 roaches on the field. It's not too bad. But what's the saying? Pretty much, you really don't want Hydras until you can get lurkers. Pretty much, you just want to hold on to Queen Roach Spore. For the most part, now the mutas are going to go on into the main base. It is a little bit different here because Frugs, he's only on 2 bases. He's only on 33 workers. But now the mutas are going to swing in once again. He's going to catch 3 of these Hydras. Oh, or not. They should be able to get that one though. No, they won't. So actually, it feels like Frugs has had the opportunity to make some pretty positive trades, but he has not been able to pull the trigger here. As now roaches and lings are going to come streaming on into this third base. Mutas cycling over as well, and well, the Hydras, they are slow. So the mutas are going to get on top of all of these roaches, which means Frugs' roaches are going to be able to take a positive trade for a moment as more and more roachling is coming in. Now a queen will go down, but now the Hydras are here, and unfortunately roaches, they do trade well against Hydras if they're able to get on top of them. But not when it's 2 roaches versus, what was that, 12, 15 Hydras.
Yeah, this ends up going quite well for Zergirl here. Frugs has not droned up behind this. He's really been committing to try and make a kill move. And that double spore at the third helped out a lot, provided a lot of safety where her ground units could be safe against those mutas. And, oh, nice cancel and rebuild on that hatchery. She's going to find an Overlord here as well. Oh, just kidding. Didn't want that kill. No, it's fine. She does need to get Hydra's range. She got that speed upgrade first, which is okay. But you definitely want to get that range upgrade as well. Ooh, and here we go. Oh, actually, you know what? These roaches are in a great position. Maybe a couple drones go down, but they will get cleared out. And it's very important to note that that upgrade for Kathy, for Zergirl, is at +2 attack. And, oh, wow, did any drones actually go down there? I actually don't think so.
Unfortunately, we don't have game heart, so I was trying to look. I didn't see. But yeah, so my question here is what is Frugs' approach from here? What is he going to be able to do now that he's in this position? Yes, he's doing a good job of keeping Zergirl back.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Oh, no. All these overlords are going to go down. So much supply. That is unfortunate, to say the least. Is Frog's actually going to get some... no, he won't,
kill it.
Because,
kill it, for the love of God.
He's got 8 HP. But,
oh, it was one
okay
shot.
With this move as well as a bunch of roaches and all the Hydras now, they're coming streaming in. Now the mutas are going to do what they can to try to find some of these Hydras without everything else, but they will just go down. These are +2 Hydras, and there we have a GG Zergirl. She's going to take it. And we're going to go to a best of 5 now, as our teams are tied up.
Yeah, that was a very, I would say, gutsy map right there. That really looked dicey for Zergirl for a while. Really tough position to be in, but she was able to hold on, and that was a big deal. That was what she was looking for. And I mean, obviously she wanted to hold on, but yeah, I was a little bit critical of the +1 range finishing up, leaving that running, but she was able to just barely hold on with some really nice control. I don't know if you noticed that, but she was able to target down a morphing Ravager egg with one of her own Ravagers that finished up. She was able to get some really clutch moves in there that just barely tipped the balance back in her favor. And of course, having that third hatchery, having all that tech, meant that she was able to just ride the wave from there. Now, the mutas did complicate things a little bit, but not enough Zergirl did sniff it out a little bit earlier there. And it looks like we may be having a little bit of a weird scenario where we're actually going to be going into the first ace match. So the first and fourth players for Microsoft have still not shown up yet, which is a little bit unfortunate. But it looks like there's some flexibility here. Of course, this is, a community-driven thing. It is about sportsmanship as much as anything. And yeah, we're gonna be going into the ace match. Maybe, possibly.
Yeah, and it seems like the captains are okay with going on ace match here, but one of the players was raising points. Oh yeah, actually, score matters. Depends on who we send on which map, which is absolutely a valid concern. Each player can only play twice, so where you want to burn your ace players is always a question. It's maybe not quite as volatile as the setup we have in the collegiate side of things, where with the 2v2s and you can only play twice per format, I believe is the phrasing there. So it gets a little bit crazier, but in this case, you can only play twice.
Yeah,
and of course, if you're up 3-1, you send your top player. But if you need actually, if you're up 3, well, I think whatever the case, you send your top player at first, right? If it's 2-2, I think if it's 2-2, you maybe be a little more conservative. But otherwise, well, if you're down 3-1, you send out your top player because you need to be a win. And I guess yeah, if you're up 3-1, you maybe go with something a little bit lower, so you have that safety in game 7.
Yeah. It's tough because like, how do you? That's it's a little bit. Oh wait, someone just joined the chat. Who's new? Could this be what we're looking for? Could this be the player? Please.
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 That would be pretty nice. Yeah, we will see.
The unknown. Let me take a look at our bracket. He could be the Gladiator. Is the unknown the Gladiator? Or they both have the in front of their name.
So.
That's unfortunate. It looks like he is not. Okay. So it looks like, as a response to this, Microsoft is forfeiting their game number 1 against Front Step. So that will be Facebook Zuckerzergs will be 2-1 at the moment. And then we're gonna go into map 5 now.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah. So okay. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. I mean, it is. Yeah, some weird rulings going. Yeah, that's not gonna fly.
No, you don't.
You don't get to.
He doesn't get 2 ace matches.
No, you don't get to claim the walkover or claim the forfeit win and then still play 2 times because the whole thing is it's as though you played against an empty position.
Can we choose which game to forfeit? Can we choose which game to forfeit then? I mean, it doesn't matter. They have they're missing 2 players.
Yeah. It's
always.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation. If I had known that maybe there was a little bit of difficulty showing up from some of the players, probably would have picked a different match. But that's okay. It is what it is. we're here now. Hopefully make the best of it.
So as we sit here waiting to see what's going to happen, Steadfast, how has your week been?
It's been quite good. It's been very busy, very very busy. Streamed a few days this week, which was super fun. Always nice to get back into the groove. Actually, I think this is the most days I've streamed in a week for like a few months at the least. Because yeah, normally I'm just not able to get away from other responsibilities, but I've kind of lightened my proverbial load a little bit on some of the other ones, and as a result, a little bit more focus on the stream, which is nice. I think I streamed Monday, Tuesday. Did I stream Tuesday? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I'm streaming today, obviously. How about yourself? How has your game been? How is your game? Wow. How has your week been? Oh, geez. Got games on my mind.
Yeah, exactly. It's been pretty good. I streamed the NA Apprentice I cast the NA Apprentice on Tuesday and Thursday, groups B and C. I joined you for Wednesday for the Exxon Cup, but unfortunately, you're aware, but for viewers, I was busy. We're building a neural network, so I didn't have time before then to actually stream it myself. But yeah, courses ended on Tuesday this week, so I've just been real busy with final projects, with with finishing up the robot that I need to get done, or more importantly, to write papers, to write my portions of this massive technical document that we're going to be submitting to NASA for it. So that's pretty fun. I have also been unfortunately sucked into actually seriously teaching myself chess because at Thanksgiving next week I got like an 11-year-old cousin. And he has gotten into chess, and he's like, oh, and I was asked, oh, Philip, BeoMulf, do you play chess? Well, yeah, little. Your 11-year-old cousin's got really into it. You should play. I'm like, okay, well, I'm the PhD student here. I am, twice his age. I need to be able to wipe the floor with him. If I don't, I will, I will brought dishonor upon my family, and even upon my cow. So. I've been teaching myself chess. I'm not all that great yet, but I did beat. My brother plays it a lot more seriously, and he's at like 1200 ELO, which is decent.
Yeah.
And I beat him. I beat him finally last night, so that was fun. Working on things, improving. Oh wait. Okay. I saw a couch. I'm like, oh no, did we miss a lobby? But no, it's just figuring out who aces are. Oh, so it looks like we're going to have Zergirl versus Pluto in game number 5, or map number 5 here. We'll be on Lightshade. Pluto, of course, is a... Oh, we're going to put this up. Pluto, of course, has not been able to play yet. Unfortunately. He was supposed to play in map 4. I believe he's a Protoss player.
Yes, he is a Protoss player. So it's we're going to have a ZVP here, which should be pretty fun, and hopefully we get a fun competitive match here. I do still feel like the Facebook Zuckerzergs are in a very strong position in this one. At the very least, they are up 2-1. Yeah.
And also Microsoft has burnt probably their strongest ace player. As someone in chat was saying, Zergirl has hit Masters 1 before. I don't really watch her stream, so I'll take their word for it. She certainly did play well last game. But anyway, burning your best ace player and not against front stab. Granted, it's something they have to do. They're down 2-1. They want to be able to make that back up, and they're in a disadvantageous position. But now who do they have as their next couple of aces? Kicks and Tricks is probably... in a disadvantageous position compared to other players, and their other two players, well, we just don't know. They're not here yet.
Yes, they are not here at the moment. She has a diamond border at the moment. That's because she's been playing a ton of Terran. I know that Upper Tree Zelda, Sal, anyone who's familiar with his stream, has been coaching her a little bit. I think she's even gotten some coaching from some, maybe even Special? I'm not sure. I could be mixing up some of the streamers there, but I know that I know that she's had at least a little bit of attention on that, trying to kind of broaden out from the Zerg mantra. But of course, you know, when you're Zerg girl, you're kind of a little bit pigeonholed right there as to what race you're going to be playing.
Yeah, and a better question, I don't even know why you would decide, why you would go away from the true path that is playing Zerg. Anything else, of course, is just inferior. I say this as a Zerg player with absolutely no bias in my body, no bias in my bones whatsoever.
I think we can all agree on that. There's no bias there.
Absolutely not. I mean, I'm sure you would agree. You and I are both aware of the might, of the glory of the Zerg race, and how superior it is to play, and how, in fact, arguably, people who play Zerg are just better people than the other two races.
Objectively, that's not even subjective. That's objective fact. It's fact. It's it's the weirdest thing, you know, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just can't help it. You have two people in a room, and you know, one of them returns their shopping cart without being asked, and they just happen to be a Zerg player, and then the other player, who might be a Protoss, just kind of pushes it onto the freeway. You know, who knows? Some men just want to watch the world burn. I don't know, void rays and sentries, and it's, you know, better people.
I mean, you're not wrong here. How many units do the Protoss and the Terran have that literally cause things to burn? I mean, you have Hellbats, you have tanks that have flame as a result, you have Colossus, you have other units that probably have burning animations as part of it as well. What does the Zerg have? There is no fire there. It is acid, sure, but acid is an organic compound. It's naturally occurring. It's not some sort of man-made fire watching the world burn, watching the world melt. Well, it's being reused. That is a virtuous process, and one that we can all get behind in this era of sustainability, this focus on recycling. Well, the Zergs are the ultimate recyclers.
That they really are. All the whenever a Zerg dies, it gets recycled back into the creep and reused for future generations. It truly is a beautiful thing, and they're just keeping their carbon footprint so low. I mean, you have like the creep is just, it's such an organic thing, like you said, and really, I guess Zergs are kind of like the vegans.
Yeah, I'd buy that one.
All right, here we go. We're going to be seeing her once again trying to stabilize, I guess, her team right here. Spawning down in the bottom right position of Lightshade. Representing the Microsoft A team, it is Zerg Girl.
Yep, and in the upper left, in the blue, looking for that dominant position to go up 3-1 in this best of 7. Representing Facebook, it's Pluto.
Yeah, and
you know,
what were you gonna say?
Go ahead. You probably have something far more serious to talk about than what I was gonna say.
Bananas. Checkmate.
Oh no, bananas are tasty, but yeah, no. So talking about Zerg's recycle on creep, I'm of the opinion that this is you've come across a great balance idea. Any Zerg unit that dies on creep should refund a part of its cost to the Zerg coffers, because the creep will, of course, take it back and recycle it, and there you go. I think that is absolutely thematically relevant and an excellent balance idea.
I think it's completely reasonable, and I think that should be implemented, you know, right now. Why not? I mean, if you can repair a battle cruiser for a quarter of its cost from 1 HP back up to full, I think it's totally reasonable that anytime a Baneling gets sniped on creep by a Terran player with, you know, perfect micro, I think I should get money for that. I think I should be rewarded for it being on creep. Yep.
Absolutely.
We do actually have something, very interesting happening here. Why don't you talk about it a little bit?
So yeah, a couple different things. First of all, we do see a second gate coming down from the Protoss player before his Nexus, but more importantly, that was what was it, a 16 pull before the hatch, and we have a Roach Warren on the way here as well for Zerg Girl. So not content with letting this game go a little bit later, she's going to go for a decent amount of pressure here. When I was talking about the 19 Roach Ling all in that we saw a version of by Juno in game number 1, but map 2. this is what I was talking about. It does have a natural for that for the larva, and it does have speed on top of things. So it is more committed, but also that much more powerful than what we would see normally when we talk about than what we saw from Juno there. Juno's, of course, was maybe a little bit more of a macro build. And actually, this is not even going to be 19 roaches. This is going to be 19 drones. This is going to be 17 drones. Hit that little bit faster, that much less economy. But does it even matter if the roaches, the ravagers, they find their way across the map? They're able to just knock that pylon down. And this is such a good map to do it on. It's maybe not quite as short as Submarine, but it is pretty close. So the Zerglings and the roaches, the ravagers, they're going to find their way across the map here. And as my wonderful observer, as Steadfast, is so adeptly pointing out, we have a Twilight Council on the way, which is probably... Oh, Queen's marching away. Wow, marching the way to the other side of the map, too. Twilight Council is perhaps the worst possible option to try to defend this. Now, Pluto will scout this in time.
That is a big deal right there. There is already shield battery on the way. Now he's going to start up a second one and double chrono boost out these units. Zergirl needs to break through here. Oh, no, the Queen! Get out of the goddamn way, you fat idiot. She is just blocking that poor roach, trying to get away. Even the Ravagers now moving forward. Warp Gate will finish up, but this is an Artosis pylon right here. And Kathy is going to target fire.
Oh, no,
even going to get through. Oh, the shield battery going to not quite be able to keep it alive. It gets depowered. Oh, that is huge.
Oh no, the Biles are going to land, kill one Adept off, but the question is there enough here for Zergirl? Absolutely there is. As more and more Zerglings are streaming across the map, the Queen needs to stop blocking the wall. It's been doing this twice now. As the Zerglings, they can't really get on, now they're going to get just about past here. And now with shield battery overcharge, Zergirl absolutely has to get out of range of where the shield battery can heal things.
Oh god.
As you notice, pretty much nothing is dying right now as we have to wait for the shield battery overcharge to go down. And this looks like it was going to be incredible for Zergirl here. She has a lot of army ready on the other side of the map, but unfortunately she decided to build some roaches. And that did mean that it did delay the Zergling production just a little, so we don't have the Zergling reinforcements streaming their way through now. And now, well, we have Resonating Glaives just about done, which means that any sort of Zerglings that are moved across the map at this point are going to be far less useful.
Yeah, that was oh god, the battery overcharge absolutely won the game right there for Pluto. If he can hold on here, that was so pivotal in that defense. Zergirl, by the way, is continuing to commit. She's even added on a second gas now for more Ravager production. And man, Glaives, it's done. It's not a very helpful tech right now, but it is something, and against the flood of Lings, it's going to be fantastically strong. This is such a difficult scenario for Zergirl right here. And, well, she tries to jump on this one unit in the front. Not going to happen. Another Ravager being morphed in, but now more and more Adepts are joining the field, and I just don't really see a way for her to break through.
Yeah, of course, the goal for the Zerglings here is not even to do a ton of damage, is to fix units in place so the Biles go and kill them off. But behind this wall here, Pluto will be able to micro forward and backwards as much as he would like. Now, I do like the fact that she is targeting down this gateway, ruining the production of our Protoss player, as once again there's another overcharge. Man, I thought, you always feel like Pluto is longer than that, but it is not. It doesn't even die.
Yeah, the battery overcharge cooldown is actually quite short. Finally, the gateway will go down, but that was so much supply that was just committed into that. Oh, nice corrosive bile there, but it's only one, not going to be enough to kill the sentry. And, well, there's an immortal now in the way, and these shield batteries have stayed alive this entire duration.
Yeah, I would like to see Zergirl just, when the opportunity is given to her, target down the structures that are allowing for the defense. As now, well, Pluto, he's going to march forward, but he will, of course, be forced to back up. As this is still a scary army from Zergirl. She has moved across the map with another Queen, so any sort of Warp Prism micros can be a little bit more difficult. And there we go. That's what I wanted to see. She's just going to find this position on the right-hand side, start removing the Cybercore, start removing the gateways, but now the Immortal is firing strong. The army on the left, army on the right, and Pluto, he's up 30 total supply here. The army of Zergirl is melting away. Now there is one Ravager that is just about dead. There we go. The Cocoon will go down, and only 3 Ravagers left with the Immortal here with all these Stalkers. Well, yes, he did get Glaives, but that didn't even matter. The Stalkers are doing the job, and Pluto is going to take it to 3-1.
Yeah, that was a very, very razor-sharp defense from Pluto. If he had not gotten that battery overcharge back up, that pylon to repower it and gone for that battery overcharge, I should say, we would have been looking at what, like maybe 20 dead probes, 15 dead probes.
I think
and
we were looking at a dead Protoss player.
Very
because,
possibly. Very possibly.
Because if he doesn't get that pylon done out of the way that powers that shield battery, there would have just been no production. Or even if the pylon was a little bit late, Zergirl would have had the opportunity to get on top of it. And then, well, if there's no production, there's no chance of a hold. Sure, what he had, 2 adepts and a stalker and a bunch of probes, they can fight. But at the end of the day, if you can't build more units, you kind of lose the game. So, but luckily, Pluto was able to scout that out. He saw the Zerglings running across the map, and that triggered those alarm bells, allowed him to build that second pylon, build that second shield battery, and make that razor edge hold, as you were talking about.
Yeah, it was really, really close to not working in his favor and being a pretty one-sided breakthrough right there, but just barely able to hold on. And it ended up working a little bit against them. Now, oh man, this is highly unfortunate right here. But it looks like we are going to be seeing MSFT-A forfeiting so I guess the first and fourth matches will end up getting forfeited here. God, that's really unfortunate. And
you hate to see it.
Yeah, you actually really do. Really sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes scheduling can be a little bit difficult. You never know what happened on the personal end. But I mean, congratulations to the Facebook Zuckerzerg team. They will end up advancing on through here, and I guess the scoreline is going to be. Wait, they forfeited.
Yeah, it's gonna be 4-1. Oh no, yeah, it's gonna be 4-1.
Is it? Oh yes, yeah, because they lost. Yeah, they lost game 5.
Ace.
Yeah,
and one of the games that Facebook did win was a non-ace. So,
yeah.
Or that Microsoft one was a non-ace.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's unfortunate to say the least, but sometimes it just can't be helped. Should we go for should we do an interview after that? I feel like that's kind of yeah, I don't know.
Talking about winner's interview or
Yeah.
I mean, Juno or Facebook did win.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate that they got 2 free maps, but they did win the 3 others. So
yeah,
or
you know what?
2 others. So
yeah. We'll get a little bit of an interview there with Arcane with the captain there. And yeah, I think we're going to just for a moment just kick you out of the call, kick you to the curb as it were, and then bring it back for an interview, and then we'll bring you back afterwards as well for another match there.
Sounds good. I know when I'm not loved Steadfast. I'm rather used to it. So I will see you after the interviews are done. And yeah, I look forward to listening to them. I will see everyone soon.
Perfect. All right, and so we are going to see if we can't get ourselves a quick little interview here with Arcane, the leader of the Facebook Zuckerzerg, and hopefully it'll be. Obviously, we won't be talking too much about this match, but we can definitely talk a little bit about the upcoming matches that are going to be on the way here. Of course, this is the round of 16 for the playoffs, so we're going to be moving into the round of 8 very, very shortly. Okay, so we're actually going to be giving just a little bit of time for Arcane to set up their webcam here. So you know what? I'm actually just going to call BeoMulf back real quick. Actually, you know what? We'll just put up a BRB screen. BRB. Hi there. Welcome back and welcome to the call. How are you doing today?
Hey,
Uh,
doing all right.
that's good. First things first, you want to introduce yourself for the players, I guess players and people watching at home?
Yeah, hi, I'm Arcade, and I'm captain of the Facebook Zuckerzerg team.
Very
Uh,
cool. I love your voice, by the way. It's very cool. It's got a good sound. So congratulations. Obviously not the way you guys want to win. You always want to win, straight up just battling it out. Forfeits is never fun, but congratulations nonetheless. This is actually, I think, the first time we've had an interview with you guys. We did have a one of your matches broadcast throughout the season, but I mean, I guess talking about the season in general, how are you guys feeling about how you've done so far?
um, so we were going into the season or in the tournament expecting kind of easier time,
Oh, okay.
but over the CEA level of play is going up by a lot this season. A lot of teams have GM players, which like 1 or 2 years ago was not really a thing at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but a lot of teams have very strong players now. Even big names, like well-known players, like I don't know, might try.
Yeah, that was who came to mind for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So we lost a few matches
Mhm.
uh, along the way, but we had a lot of good games.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was specifically the game to clinch it, I guess, for this one for you guys today was a really tight match. Pluto with a really clutch hold there at the end, able to take it home. So why don't you talk a little bit about the kind of preparation, I guess, that goes into each week's matches, and how much did you guys prepare for this week?
Um, so we did prepare quite a bit this time. We scouted the possible lineups before submitting the lineup, who usually plays or who plays often. We knew which race setup they're going to have. Like we knew they have a lot of Zerg players, strong Zerg players. So we tried to put a lineup which is stronger against Zerg players overall. Um, we also did a pretty cool thing. Before preparing the lineup, we decided to do it in home tournament. So we did a big round robin with everyone as a practice. There was a lot of fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun. If I can ask who won that, who ended up taking that one down?
Uh, do I have to say it? Of course, of course, it's front stab. Front stab just backstabbed everyone.
Oh, I like that. It's very clever. And yeah, he is, of course, one of your strongest players, if not the strongest one. I mean, empirically, it was proven, I guess. Yeah, he's been your ace player a little bit. Is that kind of something that might change a little bit moving forward in the playoffs, or is that something you're going to be like, yeah, he's probably our go-to guy?
Who knows? Maybe we have secret ace player. Let
I like
let
that.
let the, let the Alexa be scared.
Hey, there you go. That was actually going to be my next question. So I don't think the results have been finalized yet officially, but looking at the seeding and looking at who won last week and who they have, very, very likely that you guys are going to be playing Alexa 12 pool in the next round. What are your thoughts about that, and what is your approach going to be for those
Okay, so
guys?
okay, so our approach will be in the initial lineup for players. We will put front step, front step, front step, and front step. I think it's a really strong composition.
Mhm.
And for three ace games, we have our secret ace.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be front stab times 4 plus secret ace
S-
times 3.
yeah. That's our strategy. I think it's really good.
I think you guys will have a great opportunity with that one then for sure. We'll have to check the rules and see if that's allowed, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure we can make some
It's okay.
exceptions. Yeah. We'll just anytime they raise a thing, just say it's okay in the chat. Uh,
Yeah.
So yeah, why don't we talk a little bit about the charity that you guys are representing for the team and playing for?
Uh, we are playing for Doctors Without Borders. We think it's a really good charity for the just overall, and especially good for the pandemic time.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Awesome. That's fantastic. I mean, they're one of the greats out there, and that's really awesome. Anyone, I guess, you guys want to shout out on the team, or anyone that like really has been like a great strategy leader for you, or helps out a lot. That you maybe a little bit unsung. Anyone you just want to shout out.
Uh, yeah, I would shout out Frontstab, who is our basically a face person, kind
Oh,
of
there you
our
go.
our mascot at this point.
Perfect.
And yeah, I would shout out for Pluto again. Last week he did a pretty amazing void ray into charge lot cheese,
Oh.
and yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. Sorry. So and this week he did an amazing hold against our girl, against Roachling Ravager push, and even Queen.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I guess shield over charge is OP.
It was looking pretty good there for sure. And you normally don't see probes do that well against Ravagers and Lings
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a really clutch hold, like getting that pylon back up, getting that battery overcharge going. Definitely a huge difference maker. So, like I said, very clutch hold from Pluto. Awesome. Thanks for joining me. Is there anything you want to say before we sign off for now? Maybe Amazon watch out or something like that.
Uh, Not really. Just Alexa, watch out for the backstab.
Oh, there you
Backstab
go.
or front stab.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks so much. Good luck next week in the round of 8 match. And yeah, we'll see if Backstab can pull off the front stab or vice versa.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. That was perfect. That was Arcane from uh, wow, blanking. Arcane from Facebook, Zuckerzerg right there. Super awesome. Cool having them on. Good interview. And congratulations to them. I'm going to bring back BeoMulf for a little bit here. And then we're going to be taking a little bit of a break until, about 45 minutes from now. We're going to be back with the collegiate side of things. It's going to be UCSD versus the University of California, Irvine. So a little bit of Cali versus Cali action. And, well, welcome back, my friend. How are you doing?
Well, I am not front stab, so apparently I'm not doing the best I could possibly be. But I'm doing pretty good. That was a great interview. Unfortunately, we only saw 4 games, but hey, you know what? The games I should say we only saw 3 games.
3
But
games,
those
yeah.
games we saw were pretty good. I can count, even if it is a weekend. I can still do things.
I mean, honestly, do you really need to count on the weekends? I don't think counting counts on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? I think it's fine. I think it's totally, yeah. We're good.
Sure. Okay. We'll go with that one.
So before we sign off, big thank you, of course, to the CEA for having us both on here. Thank you to Gilded.gg. Make sure to check them out. Shopify as well for both sponsoring the league. Super awesome. Really happy to be on here. BeoMulf, where can the good folks find you?
So I believe, well, actually, I haven't been watching the stream, but I believe my Twitter account is right below my face. If you want to see where and when I'm going live, that is the place to do it, because I find myself on a myriad different platforms. I go live on Twitch, on twitch.tv/BeoMulf, at the very least on Wednesday evenings for the Exxon Cup. And I also stream on Trovo, trovo.live/BeoMulf. I do the pizza pie every other Sunday. I will be doing the round of 8, round of 4, and finals of the NA Apprentice Cup by myself on that as well. Although that is TBD about when that is. Sometime next week is when that's going to happen. And yeah, that's just about it. My Twitch channel, my Trovo channel, and my Twitter. how about you? Where can the wonderful people find you, my good friend?
Well, I make it very difficult for everyone. Just in general, that's just a mantra I live by. Just make it difficult for everyone. So if you want to follow me on Twitch, you can follow me on twitch.tv/steadfastsc. If you want to follow me on Twitter, which is of course same thing, where you can follow me, twitter.com/steadfastsc2. Which I didn't even put in my own name, so well done me. You can follow, take a look at the YouTube, Steadfast Space SC2. I think Instagram is Steadfast SC2, but I barely use it, to be honest. But yeah, that's it for me for the social media stuff. Obviously, make sure to follow this channel right here, twitch.tv/CEA_SC2. Yeah, they're running this amazing initiative, and well, that's it. There's plenty of places you can find me. I think Mondays I'm casting ESL. Wednesdays you and I are both doing the Exxon Cups. We're back here on Saturdays. And then gameplay streams, commentary smattered about.
Sounds about right. Yeah, that is the casting life, isn't it?
Oh, it absolutely is. Other than that, like I said, we're going to be putting up a break screen for a little bit. We'll probably bring the stream down for, half a second, bring it back up to break up the VODs. But yeah, we are going to be back in 45 minutes for, I already said it, UCSD versus University of California, Irvine. That will feature the extremely powerful player, Vindicta. Is he going to be enough to make use? No, now he will have a little bit more of an effect in this match than he might in a normal best of 5 clan war, because he can be played twice. But it could also be a situation where, you can play around him a little bit more because you just have to avoid him twice, as it were. So it kind of cuts both ways. It's a very, very interesting little scenario.
Absolutely, and a scenario that I am excited to experience. Of course, we were talking about how Vindicta, he was able to be worked around by the University of Chicago, but there's more room. But there's also more room on the other side if you got a real killer 2v2 matchup. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be dynamic, and we'll be back in about an hour with that. So don't go, 45 minutes. I, for one, am incredibly excited.
As am I. It is going to be a good one, and thank you all for sticking around for this one. Make sure to stick around for the next one, and for now, we are signing off. Have a wonderful afternoon.